Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. So today we're actually going to be starting a new series here on the channel, mainly because we're going to be pushing forward on getting our survival training courses started. Now, I'm hoping for the end of January when we actually get the first course started, but I want to start teaching some of the things that we are going to be doing in this course. This is going to be the basic course. Don't let the name fool you on basic course, because we're not sitting around a campfire cooking s'mores. Alright, so one of the first things that everybody needs to know is actual knot tying, because this is actually going to be a huge application in this course, because you got to know exactly how to run, what type of ridge lines I'm going to want you to run, what type of knots I want you to be able to run. So we're going to be going over a couple of these. In today's video, I want to cover the ridge line, but we also need to cover what knots to use. So the first knot is going to be the bowman or the bowline. Also, the other knot is going to be the trucker's hitch. Now, these here work very well for ridge line, and I also have another knot that I'm going to throw in there too, that you can actually supplement a trucker's hitch for this ridge line. So you have many different options, and they will be accepted in the class, so I can actually show you different ways that we're going to do things, and you learn it and you can use it to your advantage. Alright guys, so what we have here is paracord. This is 550 paracord. Now we got the end right here. I want to keep this end in my right hand. And so I'm standing here with the camera so I can kind of show you what we're going to do. So now all of our extra length is dangling in our left hand. That is going to the coil of our paracord. And we got the loose end over here in our right hand. Now this knot is very simple to use. This is a knot I've used many years as rappelling when I used to do a lot of rock climbing. Alright, so you want to take your loose end. You want to layer over your rope. You want to make a nice little loop here, just like this right here, okay? Now, you want to take your end. You want to go through the hole, just like this right here, through the hole. You want to go around the tree. See that? We're going around the end of our rope. And now we're going to shoot down and go back in the hole, just like that right there. Alright, and that is the bowman or bowline, whatever it is that you prefer to call. It's been called many things. So this is part of our system for our ridge line. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to deploy this up against a tree to start our ridge line. Alright guys, so we've got our tree branch right here. Now I don't have anything tied in this, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to take my loose end. This end down here is going to the coil of our rope. Okay, so we're just going to loop over right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do our first part of our bowline or the bowman. We're going to loop over just like that, and then I'm going to take this other line that's going to our coil and lay on top, just like that. Now I'm going to go through the hole, around the tree, and back down in the hole. Now we got our ridge line on this end secured. There's another way you can do this. Let me go ahead and unloosen this and I'll show you it right fast. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and loop this. We're gonna go ahead and make our bowman again, this time by itself, just like that. We're going to take our line and we're going to loop it through. Okay, we're just taking a loop just like this right here, and we're taking our bowman just like that. Now with that loop in place, we're going to take a toggle, which is just a branch. It could be a tent stake, anything like that, and we're going to slide through that loop. Now the reason why we're doing this is we're making a toggle. It's also called a spike. This way we can quickly remove this and take down our line much faster if we ever need to take down our tent area or whatever this ridge line is hooked to in a hurry and we got to leave an area. It's just simple. Take the stake out, pull it right loose. But we're going to leave it in place because it's going to be part of our ridge line. Alright guys, so now on the other end of our ridgeline, we got our rope here, and we're going to tie off on this, but we're going to use what's known as a trucker's hitch. This way we can actually secure the ridgeline and tighten it down so we don't have any slop in our ridgeline here to secure a shelter or anything else that we might want to hook up to this. So basically you want to take the main end. Alright, this is the loose end here. You want to take the main end and you want to create a loop. Alright, see that right there? I'm just looping it just like that. And we're going to hook up into that. Sorry guys, I'm going to get a little closer here so you guys can see. So we got our line running to our other tree right here. This is our loose end right here. We're going to take this and we're going to just twist it just like that. And we're going to loop just like that. All right. Now, when this loop is done correctly, you can actually grab it and you can quickly snap it loose. That's all part of the quick deployment on this, so you can actually take everything down quickly if you need to take down camp. All right. So now we're going to take our loose end and we're going to feed it through this loop down here. All right, that's one loop. Now this is an improvised trucker's hitch. This improvised trucker's hitch is something that Corporal's Corner came up with, and I do like it because it actually works very well. So we've got our loop right here. We're going to come back in and loop one more time, and we're going to put this secondary loop underneath the bottom. See how we got the top, and then we got this bottom one right here. Now, when we crank down on this, and it's done correctly, you can actually let go, and your tension is built up. So you can go crank back down. And now, what we can do here, you pinch your knot, you just tie yourself a nice little loop right there. Okay? So now our ridge line is tight and secure. So we can actually hook up our tarp or anything like that for a shelter build right off of this ridge line. Now what I like to do when I've got this loop sitting right here, I go ahead and get another toggle. I put in that loop and I just secure it down. That way I know nothing's going to be messing with it. So it's a fairly simple knot when you actually slow down the process and actually look what's going on. Now to release this, all you got to do is pull on this lead right here. It will release this here, and you snatch it loose and it'll actually loosen your ridge line. Alright, so down here on the end where we usually put our trucker's hitch for the ridge line, I've got another knot here that we're going to accept in the course. This is a basic lock and place slip knot. So we have our main line that's going between tree to tree, and we got our loose end here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come through the back side of the main line, just like this right here. Okay, the main line's here, we got the loose end, we're going to come around the back side. Now what we're going to do, we're going to drop this in just like that. Very simple. Now what we're going to add is some extra loops here. I'm going to put another loop right behind it, just like that. And we're going to add a third loop behind it. We're just going around our main line, the actual ridge line itself. So now we have 1, 2, we'll add one more here. So we've got a total of 3 knots coming off the back side, just like that right there. All right, now with this here, we're going to go ahead and go all the way over, and we're going to go between the two. I'm going to go through a loop like that right there. I'm going to cinch it down, make it uniform. Now what this does is, you can see it's slack. I'm going to back the camera up and show you. So right now we got slack in here, but because we made this knot this way, we can actually take our slack out, grabbing this right here, pull, and we got a new ridgeline. This will not back off unless we actually put pressure right here, and then we can slide it back. But I'm having to add pressure that way. So for an additional knot we can use for the ridgeline on the back end, this one here works very well. Like I just demonstrated. Now the only issue with this ridgeline is that this is not a quick disconnect. This actually has to be untied compared to we pull a toggle and snatch a line. We can snatch on this line all we want to, and it's not going to come undone. So you actually have to grab it, slide it back, and then untie it. So it depends on what the course is and what mood I'm at, what knot I want you to use. I'll tell you, we want a quick disconnect on your ridgeline, or if I say, hey, use whatever knots that you've been taught, I might say put this particular slip knot in, or I might say a trucker's hitch. So both of these do have great applications, and it's up to the instructor on which one you're going to be doing. And just come right up, undo your toggle, pull your line loose. Now you got your cordage with you. Alright guys, so that is the bowman and the trucker's hitch, or the bowline. This is a knot that actually we'll be using quite a bit in the course. It's a very useful knot to know. That's why I wanted to do the video on this and kind of show you this little step by step. Now I did videos on these knots in the past, but now we're actually able to show you some applications for these knots. So it is something that you will need to know when you go into the class. Now granted, I will be reteaching this in the basic class, but having a little leg up before you show up might be a good idea, if you know what I'm saying.